So I recently put out a video in which I 100%ed a Minecraft child chamber in hardcore without any outside materials. And at the end of it, mostly as a joke, I said, like if you don't think I could ever do it again, just comment below, Corn, you could never do it again. And well, my guys, gals, non-binary pals, we have a taker, we have a challenger. So I'm doing it again. But no, I'm not doing the same thing. I'm doing it in a bigger trial chamber. And not only that, I'm doing it without a crafting table and I'm doing it without a shield. Why cats can't fly? This one's for you. So let's just establish the rules for this. We're going to be using the same rules as last time, except with some fun additions, such as the no crafting table and no shield. With the rules from last time were that I had to be in hardcore, except my version, which means I start in creative so I can, actually find the trial chamber. And then I put myself in survival, lock myself in hard, and quit the world when I die. Also, I can't mine the trial chamber for resources. I can break things, but I can't, take the trial chamber apart or leave the trial chamber at any point to get other resources. I also won't be using any commands once I actually start the run. I'll have to use commands to get to the trial chamber and stuff, but once I start the run, I won't be using commands, because if I was actually in hardcore, I wouldn't be able to use commands. And also, if I get one of those ominous, drink thingies that make everything worse and way harder, then I immediately have to drink it before I fight the next guy. Those were last time's rules, and I'm going to follow them, but also add some more. Those added ones are going to be the fact that, I can't use a shield, and I can't use a crafting table, as well as the fact that, as promised, the trial chamber I attempt this time will be bigger than the trial chamber I did last time. Also, this isn't all the footage because I'm not that much of a monster. I'm gonna make some cuts and I'm gonna make it so you can actually watch this without, dying of boredom. But if for some reason you're like, I need to see the entire thing unedited, then yes, I will be linking that like I did before in a video in the description. It's not gonna be fully unedited because parts of the audio have to be muted for my own privacy, but the raw footage itself will not be changed in any way. So those are the rules. Let me just put them on screen in a cool thing. Alright, let's begin. We start where all worlds start, in the Create a World menu, because that's where worlds start. And you can see here, I'm very carefully making sure that it is a big trial chamber. I'm doing that by naming it and just sort of hoping for the best. When I get into the world, I'm using the /locate command, I'm teleporting to the trial chamber, I'm spectating, but as I'm spectating, I'm checking to make sure it's big enough, because if it isn't big enough, we scrap this world and start over. Oh yeah, this is big. Alright. Are you the starting? Yeah, you're the starting room, and you're the worst starting room you're the starting room where we get no wood. Alright. Okay. In this specific challenge where I can't have a crafting table or a shield, not having wood doesn't particularly matter as much, but it is still annoying on the point of principle. Wood is one of the few blocks in the trial chamber that cannot be broken by arrows and can be broken by me after I've placed it, because it's not guaranteed that I'll get a pickaxe. Strike out an axe. Make that 2 axes. The bottom layer doesn't have any spawners, so I go ahead and I loot it quickly and I get an iron axe, which is good. And at the end of the looting, I have 2 keys, which is very good, especially considering the starting room I have. Oh, yes, okay. So the upside of the really, really annoying one, i.e. this, is that, because even though you don't start with wood, you do, however, get 2 of these things. The first one is all the way at the top. And you just have to do a little bit of Am I supposed to have that? I don't know. Okay. Then after clearing the first floor and getting my prizes from the vaults, I felt confident enough to go up to the second level. You seem fun. Okay. Ooh. Power 2 bow, that's good. Very good, very good. Thank you, sir. Yeah, let's go for it. Probably should have done that differently. With the husk spawner defeated, I looted the rest of the level handily, and then went and explored a door. Oh. Oh, this is the one that's just terrible if you don't have a shield. Okay. In a challenge where I couldn't have a shield, a room like that with multiple levels of poison skeletons just meant death. And I wasn't sure what to do because I had just been hoping I wasn't going to get a room like that, but I had gotten one, and in order to 100% the trial chamber, I was going to need to defeat it. And so, with very few ideas and just a lot of can-do attitude, I went back in. You know what, sure. Almost a stack of arrows, we're just gonna do our best is what we're gonna do. And so the battle began. My plan at this point was just to barricade myself in a corner, hope they couldn't shoot me, and try to shoot them. Unfortunately, the fact that they couldn't shoot me meant I also couldn't shoot them, and my arrows kept just hitting the wall, so I switched to my axe. And though I did get shot and poisoned, I had managed to kill one of the skeletons, which was definitely an improvement from just the shooting and hitting nothing. And so, with a new strategy and the sheer determination not to die, I slowly and methodically picked off the skeletons by axing them from behind my barricade. I've done worse. And I am alive. Those are my bars right now. I had defeated the first level of poison shooty guys with only minor injuries, and now, armed with bread as a reward, I was ready to take on the second level. Are you ready? Probably over there, okay. On this level, I used basically the same strategy as the level previously, barricade myself and attack from behind it, only on this level I also added the bow to my repertoire, because for some reason the skeletons really wanted to climb things and it was easier to snipe them than to get out from behind my very comfortable barricade. And this footage is sped up, because if you had to watch me doing that for as long as it took me, you would also lose your mind. But if for some reason you think I've cheated and want to see the entire footage, that will be linked just as it was last time in the description. It's not going to be fully unedited, it's just going to be raw footage with some areas muted for privacy reasons. And with a little work, this level was cleared as well. Seriously? After that, I moved on to the third and final layer, which had 2 skeleton spawners, so I triggered both of them, got back behind the barricade, and went back to sniping and axe critting. The battle took longer than the others had, which made sense given that, I was dealing with 2 spawners at once, and at times I got pretty low on health, but I had enough bread that I was able to regen properly and finish the battle. Ha! Defeating the skeleton room gave me a lot of confidence, because if I can defeat the hardest skeletons, because, skeletons are skeletons, and strays just make you slow and weak, that's annoying, but poison? Poison? That's just a problem. So if I could defeat the hardest skeletons in the trial chamber without a shield, and without crafting anything, then I was I could do pretty good, couldn't I? So I was feeling pretty confident, and finishing the skeleton room had actually finished off that section of the trial chamber, so I moved on to the next one. The next section appeared to only have breezes, so I just ran in. But boy, was I wrong! That was a mistake so bad I had to make a tactical retreat halfway through. The trick to fighting a group of close combat mobs is to create as much space as possible, so that you can pick them off one by one, because if they get you stuck in a corner somewhere, you will likely die. However, if you're fighting skeletons, you want to get them as close together as possible so maybe they'll shoot each other and aggro on each other. But there's no way the zombies were going to aggro on each other, so my goal was to create space and pick them apart. And yes, I know they're not actually zombies, they're husks, but like they're in the zombie family, because like the zombie family has husks and drowns, and then there's the skeleton family which has like bogs and strays, and so anyway, discussion over, I've made my point. The husks are dead, so I go back in to finish off the breeze, and as I'm doing that, it knocks me in the air and I see another spawner, a poison shooty guy spawner, and that's good to have in mind so I don't set it off before I'm ready. Except the husks aren't actually dead, like the ones I killed are dead, but the spawner spawns 3 more, so I have to deal with those before the spawner is cleared and I can get my rewards. And that's fairly easy, though my axe does break halfway through, so I'm very glad I got the trident in the beginning. Slower, but it does the job. Now all that's left, for real this time, is the last breeze and the spawner full of poison shooty guys. So I confirm that I know where the poison shooty guy spawner is, and then once I've confirmed that, I've gotten a key from, like the husks, so I go and I use that in a vault just to see if I can get some last minute supplies. I don't really get much of anything useful, but I do get wind charges, and there is an advancement for killing breezes with wind charges. So I go for that, and it does get injured, but it doesn't die, so I think, I tried, and I switch back to my trident. And then the breeze is dead, and I take my reward, and the last spawner, which is the poison shooty guys, is just gonna be a lot of sniping. That's a lot of careful sniping, and maybe some not careful sniping, so here I'm gonna speed it up a bit. And even sped up it's taking a while, but I do manage to defeat the spawner, and I take my reward, and then that room is finished. And so I moved on to the next room, which also happens to be on the last side of the trial chamber, the last unexplored side. Hey, okay. Interestingly enough, I now have exactly enough wood to make both a shield and a crafting table, not in that order. But as we all know, I can't make either. So instead I continue looting, and for a moment I consider just sort of looting around the spawner because I can see that there's a silverfish spawner, but then I think, what the heck, so I go and I attack the spawner. Well, I don't actually attack the spawner. I trigger the spawner and then attack the silverfish and kill them all because it's frighteningly easy. And though it's frighteningly easy, it takes a while because the silverfish don't seem to be able to target me very effectively. So even though I'm like one-hitting them, they aren't coming to my area. Maybe it's because I'm one-hitting them and they don't want to die. But anyway, I finally managed to get the spawner. Finally. And then I go about and I continue looting the level. And the loot I get is insanely good, which is honestly kind of a shame because I can't use part of it. Oh. Oh. Ooh, crossbow. Okay. Some breaking too is pretty good. Ooh, what's that one? Ooh, smite. Okay. So just as a quick summary there, I ended up with 10 diamonds, an enchanted crossbow, and a smite 5 axe. And this is all from just looting things. This isn't even from trial loot or anything. So my luck was absolutely insane. And then, well, insane luck that is insanely good kind of, deserves to turn sort of insanely bad. So it did. I went through another door and, well, I got a second poison shooty guy room that has 3 layers and is really hard. Oh, another one of these. Ooh, okay. First of all, cool. Okay. procrastinated a little bit by checking in the dispensers and just taking looks around, but, you know, I really, what was I waiting for? I would have to do this at some point, so I just went for it. And normally, given how much you've already seen me do this, I would just speed this up, but it went so poorly that I almost died, so you're gonna want to see that. Oh my god. God. Oh, I bungled this up. Now you might be thinking, Corn, you didn't nearly just die, you went down to half health. It felt like I nearly died, and I did nearly die later, so let's speed this up to get to that point. Still not fast enough. Speed it up more. 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 And, I guess this is as fast as it can go, so we're not getting any faster. I'll just hang here for a bit and I'll stop it when it's time. Okay, that's good. Slow it down. Slow it down! Okay. Welcome to Near-Death Experience Round 2. This don't look so good. I'm honestly quite proud of myself for not dying here. Spoiler, but I said near-death experience, not death experience. I'm quite proud of myself for not dying, because normally when something gets like this, I get very anxious and mess myself up. But I didn't, so kudos to me. And it was especially stressful because of how far I'd gotten. I knew I was close to, like, 100%ing it without a shield or a crafting table, and that's cool, and I wanted to do it. And there had been runs like this that had ended early, and so I was very stressed because I wanted this to be the run. And my fighting style lends itself to just sort of being a bit risky, but this was not a situation I could be risky in. I was in hardcore. This was not some time you wanted to be risky, so I had to hold my impulsive self back by the shirt and say, no, we gotta be careful. A lot of this is probably due to, like, RNG and luck, because even when skeletons shot at me, they didn't always hit me, because maybe I could dodge, or maybe they missed a little bit. But I'd like to think that some of it's skill, because it would be more flattering if some of it was skill, so I'm declaring right now that at least some of it, even if it's just 1% of 1%, was skill in this scenario. And if anyone's wondering why I'm rambling, I'd say thank you for noticing. And also, this took a while because of how cautious I was being, and because I really didn't want to die. But I don't want to speed it up because that ruins it, and I don't want to cut it out. So I'm left with a complicated decision, and I have solved that complicated decision by just yapping for a bit. I cannot breathe right now. Oh boy. I'm not made for this kind of stress, man. Oh, that was it. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ooh. I'm not made for this. Ooh. And with that, the second 3-layer poison skeleton room was done. I was able to move on to the last room. Oh, I forgot this had smite. Why is it one-hitting them? Because it has smite. Hello. Ooh, hidden chest. Fun. Oh, that's cool. If you'll excuse me. Last time, I had gotten knocked off by the breeze and taken fall damage, so this time I did a tactical fall into the water. Oh my god. You picked up the speed potion? At least I think this is speed. Okay. With that, the trial chamber was defeated. I didn't know it at the time because I was still, like, checking to make sure I hadn't missed anything, but once I was pretty sure, I decided it was time to do the final checks. Okay. Okay, so we did this. We did that. And we did that. We did that, and we did that. We did that, and we did that. We did it. And there you have it. I 100%ed a Minecraft trial chamber bigger than the previous one, with the same rules of, like, hardcore and no outside materials, and I did it without a shield or a crafting table. I feel so proud right now. And my cats can't fly. Thanks for challenging me. You sure you wanna pretty sure you won't do that again, but just in case, I can always make it worse. I have plans. And if you want to see the full thing or, like, the fuller thing, 'cause it's still gonna have edits because I need to mute bits for privacy, that'll be linked in the description. And otherwise, thank you for watching. This was really a joy to make. And I hope to see you in my corner of the internet sometime soon. See you next time, maybe.